Hey friends, thanks for joining us today in beautiful Colorado for our yoga flow today. Let's go ahead and get started in Colossians chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It says, "But now you must also rid yourself of all such things as these: anger, rage, malice, slander, and filthy language from your lips. Do not lie to each other, since you have taken off your old self with its practices, and have put on the new self, which is being renewed in knowledge in the image of its creator." Several of the things listed here have to do with our words. When we give our lives to Christ and walk with Him, the way that we speak should change. The old self mentioned here is everything that we used to do before Christ. And it says here to take off your old self with its practices. And God invites us to take on a new self as we give our lives to Him. This new self is constantly being renewed. As we learn more about God and grow closer to Him, we become more like Him. We should never be stagnant in our walk with Christ, but always growing and always allowing God to grow our hearts and our spirit. So today in your yoga practice, reflect on this passage. Allow God to reveal to your heart where you might still be walking in your old self, and allow Him to renew your heart and your spirit, becoming more like Him. So go ahead and grab your yoga mat and some water, and let's get started. All right, friends, we're going to get started today in a simple seated posture. Bring the hands to the knees, lifting through the spine. Draw the crown of the head towards the sky. Drop the shoulders down and away from the ears. Let's close the eyes and start with 3 breaths today. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale it out. Nice. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Inhale. And exhale, release it out. Inhale, reach the fingertips high, blinking the eyes open. Exhale, draw the hands to heart center. Step the right foot over to the left. Bring the left elbow to the right knee, or maybe giving it a hug. And take a simple seated twist over to the right side, planting the right fingertips towards the back. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist. Nice job. One more deep breath in. Exhale, come back to center. Release the right foot out to the right side. Inhale, reach the fingertips high, sitting up tall. And exhale, drop the right hand down, reach over with the left fingertips. Getting a deep side stretch here, beginning to open up through the right hamstring. Inhale. And exhale, come back to center and slowly walk the fingers away from the body, getting a little bit of a fold here down the middle. Opening up through the hips. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Great job. Come back to the center. Come back to a simple seated posture. And let's begin to roll out the shoulders, drawing them up towards the ears and back down. Inhale and exhale. Great job. Reverse those rolls coming forward. Opening up through the mid-back and the chest. Coming back to center, draw the chin in towards the chest and take a slow neck roll to the right. Just beginning to loosen up through the neck muscles today. Inhale and exhale, reversing those rolls, coming the opposite direction. Inhale, moving gently. Open mouth, exhale. Nice job. Come back to center. Step that left foot over to the right side and then bring the right elbow to the left knee or give that left knee a hug. Place the left fingertips behind you and take a twist over to the left side. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist, drawing the gaze towards the back. Nice job. One more deep breath in. And exhale. Come back to center. Release those left toes out to the left side. Inhale, reach the fingertips high. Exhale, side stretch to the left. Reaching up and over with the right fingertips. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, reach. Nice job. Inhale, come back to center and slowly walk those hands away from the body, taking a fold on the other side. Breathing into the left hamstrings and the hips. Inhale and exhale. Slowly walk the hands back to center. And we're going to take the feet out long in front of us, coming into a staff pose. Planting the hands beside the hips. Reach the crown of the head tall, and again roll those shoulders down and away from the ears. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Inhale, reach the fingertips high. And exhale, slowly hinge at the hips and take a forward fold, reaching forward and then slowly allowing the chest to melt down towards the legs. Inhale, breathing into the hamstrings, maybe even bouncing through the knees a little bit here. Open mouth, exhale. Nice job. One more deep breath in. And exhale, come back to center and let's find figure four legs, bringing the right foot into the left thigh, lifting the left toes high. Inhale, reach high, and exhale, slowly fold over that leg. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, just focusing now on stretching out the left leg. And we're going to flow it out into modified wild thing pose. So inhale, come back to center, plant that right hand behind you and swing the left fingertips high, planting on the right hand and finding your modified wild thing pose. Inhale, extending through the left side of the body. Open mouth, exhale. Gently release the hips down and fold over that left leg. Taking this 2 more times all together. Inhale, come back to center, plant the right hand, lift the hips high, open the chest. And exhale, slowly release the hips down and take your fold. Maybe coming a little bit deeper now into this fold. And last time, inhale, come to center, plant the hand, lift the hips, open up. Inhale, extending, nice job. And exhale, release the hips down and take your fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold down. Great job. Come back to center. Switch out the legs so the right foot comes long and the left foot comes into the right thigh. Inhale, reach the fingertips high. Exhale, gently fold down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Breathing this time, focused on the right leg. Inhale, slowly come to center, plant the left hand behind you, swing the right fingertips back and lift the hips. coming into your modified wild thing pose. Exhale, gently release the hips down and fold over that right leg. 2 more times all together, flowing this with your breath. Inhale to center, plant the hands, lift the hips, open up the chest. And exhale, gently fold all the way down. And last time, inhale, come to center, plant the hand, open and stretch. Beautiful job. Exhale, gently release the hips down and take your fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold down. Come back to center, swing the legs around and find a tabletop position, planting the hands and knees into the mat. Draw the belly button in towards the spine, getting a flat back. And let's move through the spine from cat to cow. So as you inhale, lift the gaze and tailbone high, open up the chest. Exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest for cat pose. Inhale to cow, open up the front body. Exhale, round into cat. Great job taking this a few more times with your breath. Inhale and exhale. Nice job. Tuck the toes and slowly lift the hips into a downward facing dog. Walking out the feet whenever you get there, if that feels good. Bending one knee at a time. Inhale and exhale. And then lower the hips into a high plank pose. And let's breathe here for a moment, just beginning to engage the core muscles. Inhale, pressing away from the mat. Open mouth, exhale, making a long, straight line from the crown of the head to the heels. Inhale and exhale. Maybe drop the knees down or keep them high. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking our first vinyasa flow of our practice. Taking it slow today. Inhale, bring the gaze to the top of the mat. And exhale, step into a forward fold. Grab onto opposite elbows and hang in a ragdoll position. Maybe adding a sway from side to side, using gravity to really lengthen through the spine, drawing the chest in towards the legs. Nice job. Inhale and exhale. Releasing the hands back down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Slightly bend through the knees. Inhale, roll up all the way to extended mountain pose, taking your time. Exhale, hands to heart center. And we're going to bring all of the weight into the right foot and start to bring the left heel to the right ankle, turning that left knee out to the side. And find your version of tree pose, maybe keeping that foot planted to the mat or sliding the foot up to the calf or to the inner thigh of the right leg. Taking your balance here, focus your gaze. Maybe there's some wobbles here today, that's all right. Just finding your tree pose back again. Inhale through the nose. Exhale it out. Maybe you lift the fingertips high, growing your branches in your tree pose. Nice job. One more deep breath in. And exhale. Bring the left knee back to the front and start to pull it in towards the chest, giving it a hug. Inhale. And exhale, keep the right hand connected to the knee, and then maybe start to twist towards the left side, reaching out and back with the left fingertips, finding a twist as we balance. Nice job focusing that gaze again. Inhale and exhale. Slowly come back to the front. Give that knee one more hug, and then release the left foot back into the mat. Inhale, reach high for extended mountain. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands and step that left foot all the way back, coming into a runner's lunge. Keeping the fingertips planted into the mat or maybe onto blocks. Open up the chest towards the front. Inhale. And exhale, slowly release the back knee down. Reach the fingertips high and find a low lunge. If this posture is more accessible using blocks under the hands, feel free to do so. But find your version of low lunge. Open up the chest. Inhale. And exhale. Really opening up through the left hip flexor. Take one more deep breath in. And with your exhale, tuck the back toes and slowly lift all the way up into a high lunge. Nice job. Shining the chest forward, slightly pull that right hip back. Inhale. Exhale, finding a deeper lunge. One more inhale. And exhale, open into your warrior two. Opening the hips and the chest towards the left side and extending through those fingertips. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale out. Inhale, reach the fingertips high, straighten that front leg. And exhale, come back into warrior two, taking this a few times with your breath. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, coming back into your lunge. Inhale. And exhale. Nice job. Inhale through the nose. And exhale out. Slowly cartwheel the hands down, framing that right foot. Step it back to meet the left. Maybe keep the knees lifted or drop them down to the mat and take a slow vinyasa flow. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Nice job. Maybe walking out those feet again. Warming up those hamstrings a little bit more. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. And exhale, walk the feet into a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Slightly bend through those knees. Inhale, slowly roll up into an extended mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bring all of the weight into the left foot and take the right heel to the left ankle. Prepare for your tree pose, maybe keeping the foot planted or sliding it up to the calf or the inner thigh. Bringing the hands to heart center or maybe beginning to extend your branches tall. Inhale, focusing. Rooting down through that foot and lifting high, standing tall in your tree pose. Inhale and exhale. Great job. Slowly bring that right knee forward and give it a big hug, pulling it in towards the chest. Keeping the left hand connected to the knee, open up that right arm long and back behind you, finding a twist here. Inhale. Exhale, focusing that gaze here again. One more deep breath in. And exhale, come back to center. Release the right foot down. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, plant the hands and step that right foot all the way back, finding your runner's lunge. The back knee stays lifted away from the mat. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, release it out. Slowly release the back knee down to the mat and find your version of low lunge. Hands to blocks, to the mat, or reached high. Opening up that chest. Nice job. Inhale. And open mouth, exhale. One more deep breath here. And exhale, tucking the back toes, slowly lift all the way into a high crescent lunge. Using the strength of the legs to move you. Inhale, extending the fingertips. Exhale, coming a little bit deeper into your lunge. Slightly pull that left hip back. Inhale. And exhale, warrior two. Nice job extending, becoming long here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, reach the fingertips high, straighten the front leg. And exhale, warrior two pose. Taking this with your breath, flowing. Inhale and exhale. Each time with your exhale, coming a little bit deeper into your lunge, really using the strength of that left quadricep. Inhale and exhale. Cartwheel the hands down to frame the left foot, step it back. Keep the knees lifted away from the mat or drop them down. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. And exhale, slowly walk the feet forward, coming into your fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold down. Slightly bend the knees. Inhale, roll up all the way to extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bring all of the weight into that right foot again and take an eagle posture so that left knee is going to come on top of the right and then taking the right elbow on top of the left. Lift the elbows to shoulder height, bringing the backs of the hands together or the palms together. Sinking down into the legs. Inhale and exhale. Balancing here with the strength of that right foot. Inhale and exhale. This is really great for focusing the mind as you focus on your balance. One more deep breath in and exhale. Untwist the arms and the legs and slowly step that left foot all the way back into a high crescent lunge. Feeling that right leg really working here. If you need to bounce a little bit in your high lunge, taking some pressure out of the right leg, feel free to do so. Inhale, open up the chest. Open mouth, exhale. One more deep breath in. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, flip the front palm. Exhale, take it back for peaceful warrior. Inhale, lengthening here. And exhale, take your side angle. So bringing the right elbow onto the right knee and reaching those left fingertips high. Inhale. And exhale out. Slowly come back into your warrior two pose. Extending those fingertips. And then inhale, reach the fingertips high, turn the right toes in, and exhale, fold all the way down into your wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold down. Maybe bringing hands to blocks, to the mat, or to the ankles. Whichever feels best for you here. opening up through the hips and breathing into them. Inhale and exhale. Nice job. Slowly walk those hands towards the right foot and rise back into your warrior two. Taking one more deep breath here. Inhale and exhale. Cartwheel the hands down, step the right foot back, and take your version of a vinyasa flow. Again, moving slowly here, taking your time with every movement and every breath, ending in your downward facing dog. Maybe walking out the feet or letting the heels be still, reaching down towards the mat. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, bring the gaze to the top of the mat. Exhale, step into your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, slowly rise all the way up, extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center, and begin to bring all of the weight into that left foot. And we're going to find our eagle pose on the other side. So taking that right knee on top of the left, and then the left elbow on top of the right elbow. Palms together or backs of the hands together. Lift those elbows to shoulder height. Inhale. Exhale, sink back into this pose. Nice job focusing your gaze here. Inhale and exhale. Rooting through that left foot. One more deep breath in. And exhale. Slowly untwist the legs, come back to center, and step that right foot all the way back, coming into a high lunge. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, sink it low. Nice work today. One more deep breath in. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, flip the front palm. And exhale, take it back for peaceful warrior. Inhale, extending. And exhale, come back through the center. Take the left elbow to the left knee and reach those right fingertips high. Side angle pose. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, come back to warrior two. Inhale, reach the fingertips high, turn the left toes in, and exhale, fold all the way down. Really opening up through the hips here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Taking your version of this fold. Maybe sending those fingertips through the legs, pulling yourself a little bit deeper. Inhale. And exhale, plant the hands back to the mat and walk them over to the left foot. Rise up into warrior two. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step the left foot back. Maybe dropping the knees, maybe lifting them. Take your Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice job. Take a deep breath here in your downward dog. And exhale, release the knees to the mat and sink the hips back into a child's pose. Reaching those fingertips forward. Inhale. And exhale, walk the hands over to the right side of the mat. Lengthening through the left side body. Inhale. And exhale, walk those fingers over to the left side. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, come back to center. Bring those hands down to the ankles and maybe hold hands around those ankles or just rest the hands into the mat. Taking a moment here to breathe, slowing down the heart rate after some really great movement today. Inhale and exhale. Plant the hands into the mat, slowly come back up to seated. Swing the legs around, give those knees a big hug. And exhale, slowly release the back all the way down onto the mat. Pull the knees into the chest and give them a tight hug, maybe rocking from side to side. Inhale and exhale, plant the soles of the feet to the outer edges of the mat, open the arms wide to a T, and we're going to drop the knees over to the right side. Inhale the knees back to center, and exhale, release them to the left. Taking this slowly from one side to the other, just working out the hips, the glutes, and the lower back. Inhale and exhale. Pausing on the right side, let those knees stay heavy. Bring the gaze over the left shoulder, getting a little bit of a supine twist here. Inhale. And then exhale, slowly bring those knees over to the left side. Bring the gaze to the right shoulder. And taking a moment to twist on the other side. Inhale. And exhale, come back to center. Release the toes long down the mat, the hands resting beside you, and find your Shavasana pose. Closing the eyes and coming back to those deep breaths. And I'm going to leave you with 3 questions today, and begin to just center your heart, letting this time be for reflection and prayer. How do you sometimes feel tempted to walk in your old self? Do your words reflect Christ to others around you? How can you ask God to renew and refine you so that you might walk in your new self today? God, I pray that you would renew each of our hearts today. Reveal to us where we start to pick up our old habits and our old ways, and help us to remember that you have called us to walk new in your Spirit, Lord. Because of all that you've done for us, we have the freedom to walk a new life. So God, I ask for your help in that. I pray that you would be with us in every moment, giving us your strength and your guidance. Thank you for the renewing and the refining that you do in us each day, Lord. Help us to become more like you in everything that we do. Thank you for who you are to us, Father. And we pray all these things in your name. Amen. Thank you so much for joining me today in your yoga practice, and I look forward to seeing you next time.